Hello, welcome to Moist Nougat. I am the kid. I wanted to start this episode out by saying today is Veterans Day, and I'd like to say thanks to all the veterans for their service. Should be more than just one day. We should do more than what we do. The birthday photo shoot that I was talking about last week got rained out today. They had to move the birthday party inside, and I had some camera issues last night, and so it probably worked out for the best. I wasn't going to go inside with a bunch of 8 and 9-year-olds. My sister-in-law was sick anyway, so we avoided going over there. Did talk to my mother-in-law, and the party was a success. I mean, the kids had fun. That's all that matters. But yeah, the camera scare. I got back yesterday from doing some in-car stuff, and then I was going to get the R10 out, and it didn't work. I got an error, a lens error. Lens error 60. And immediately my heart dropped. I was like, holy shit. What's going on? And Googled it, did some research, and you know, took the battery out and took the memory card out and did this and did that, and nothing worked. And, you know, looked real close with the magnifying glass at the lens. It was the 18 to 45 lens, the kit lens that I got with the camera. And I'm like, I've only had this camera, you know, for like 5 months, and it really hasn't gotten a whole lot of use, and it gets put away every time I use it when I'm done, because this house is so dusty that when I'm done using the camera, I put it back in the camera bag, and lens caps all go back on, and all that stuff. The only thing I could think is I had used it like a few days before to record, since I was late doing the podcast last week, and I did it. I had recorded the podcast, and I didn't recharge the battery, so the battery sat for a couple of days, and I'm like, maybe it's just the battery, because I had put the Nifty 50 lens on, and everything was fine. And so I charged the battery for like 2 hours, and everything seemed to be fine. So apparently there just wasn't enough juice in the battery to work the mechanism in the zoom lens. It was fine with the fixed lens, but not with the zoom lens. Needless to say, I will be ordering another battery. So I have I don't know why I didn't get a second battery when I ordered the camera, since I was financing it. To add another $50-$60 or whatever wouldn't have really made that much of a difference, financing it for 12 months. But I didn't for some stupid reason. And so now I'm going to order one. I woke up the other day, I guess Thursday. My wife and I were sitting out in the driveway having coffee. So, well, I say driveway, it's our patio basically, that because we don't have a deck or patio or anything at this house. So our outside our door is our patio, where we have our chairs, or we go out and have coffee in the morning and stuff like that. But supposedly some people were supposed to come by and look at the roof or do whatever, and I had no idea what the hell. And then a pickup truck pulls in with a big trailer, and I had seen this guy before. He'd come and look at the roof once before. I'm like, oh yeah, they're putting the fucking roof on today. Totally unexpected. And I had editing to do and everything else. So I'm going to pause for 1 second. I'm not going to make you listen to it right. Well, you are going to listen to it right this second, but I can't play it for you right this second because, anyways, this is what I was listening to for like 3 hours. Yeah, fun while you're trying to edit and take notes and But anyways, it is what it is. We got a new roof, which means our rent's probably going to go up next year when the lease comes up. I have a surprise coming up later on, about midway through the podcast or so. But because of all that crap with the camera issue and the roofers and this and that, it's been a little bit of a stressful week. Not anything that anybody can't deal with, but I figured I'd just have a little bit of fun this week. And so I'm going to ask myself some questions. And now I did find most of these questions, on websites or whatever, and as I was writing the questions down that I was going to use, I obviously your brain just works that way, or most people's brains works that way. And I did think about like what is the answer to that, but I did not write any answers down. So I'm going to try to be mostly off the cuff with my answers, and I'm probably not going to get through all of them, but I wanted to make sure that I wrote enough down that I could if I needed to. But the first one is, what did I do as a child that got me into trouble? And that's kind of a funny one, because when I think child, I'm thinking like 4, 5, 6, whatever years old. I used to swear like crazy, and my grandmother used to wash my mouth out with soap, like on a daily basis. I just was too stupid to learn that I shouldn't say those words. But the problem is I was running around chasing my uncles and his friends, which carry the bully, 6 years older than I am. So if I'm, let's say I'm 6, so he's 12. So he's totally, like, when he's hanging out with his buddies, they're definitely swearing, and I'm just picking shit up. And my grandmother was not savvy to it. One other thing I did was that me and another little kid, and I don't remember how old I was, probably right around the same age, found some matches and went up on the dike, and we were just lighting matches because we thought it was cool to light matches. Well, we didn't know that we set like some leaves and shit on fire. Apparently, according to Carrie the Bully, the whole dike was on fire. It was like, towering in fucking inferno or something. I highly doubt that it was that. It was probably just like some smoke. But anyways, I remember him coming to our apartment where I lived with my mom, and saying that the cops were looking for me and everything else. And I was, of course, I'm scared shitless. But yeah, swearing and lighting shit on fire. That's what I did as a child to get me into trouble. Another question, is it more important to have laughter or a lot of money? And it's really kind of an easy answer to this one. To me, it's more important to have laughter, because if you have joy and laughter in your life, then money's not that important. But I will say that if I had a lot of money, I would probably laugh a lot more. So there's the answer to that fucking question. Another question. Would I rather be smart and ugly or beautiful and dumb? And now that I'm approaching 55, that answer is also fairly easy to me. I would rather be beautiful and dumb, because I might be smart or ugly and dumb. I don't know. You tell me. But I feel like I'm fairly intelligent, not like scientist smart or whatever. And I don't feel like I'm ugly. Ugly's a bad word anyways. Nobody's ugly. But anyway, I'm getting off topic anyways. This is a fucking simple question. Would I rather be smart and ugly or beautiful and dumb? Beautiful and dumb. Because I see so many people that are, not the sharpest tool in the shed, but they look really good and they're happy and they make a living and they go through life and everything's honky dory. And I see myself, whereas I'm not saying I'm beautiful or ugly, either one, but I'm smart enough to know that, you know, the world isn't just always beautiful. And I stress about things. I stress about money. I stress about, you know, shit I see on the news. And so sometimes I just rather be, you know, like, you know, whatever, male model. And yeah, I'm not going to be a male model at 55. I get it. But male model and, you know, just whatever, you know, kind of like the dumb character on the sitcoms where life is just good all the time. But boy, they look good, you know. Let's move on from that because I'm getting too deep into that one. What item do I hope will be obsolete in 20 years? And this was probably one of the easiest ones. Fucking leaf fucking blowers. I hope they're obsolete tomorrow. It's funny because, like I said, my wife and I sit out here and have coffee in the morning. There's a church that's back over behind us, and so they have like somebody that comes in and does their lawn and all that. But they came out and they were blowing leaves for like 3 hours, which is to me is the most ridiculous thing, especially here because half the leaves aren't even off. More than half the leaves aren't even off the trees. So like literally by the time you're done blowing leaves, there's more leaves that need to be blown. And it's just a continual fucking cycle but it's noise pollution. It's so annoying to hear them going. And I never understand why they're like, ring, 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 ring. Just fucking hold it wide open and blow the fucking leaves. You're not riding a Harley. You're not trying to impress people. Just fucking blow the fucking leaves. But they could be obsolete tomorrow and it wouldn't hurt my feelings. And the same people were back the next day blowing the same fucking shit again. I was so tempted to grab a rake out of my fucking shed and take it over to them because I was so sick of hearing it. You know, I did actually see an article where they're starting, like California is going to ban the sale of gasoline-powered leaf blowers, not the battery-powered ones, but the gas-powered ones, by 2026 or something like that. I don't know, 2025, 2026, whatever. And there's other towns that they're mandating that you can only use them between certain hours, and they're also almost one of the leading causes, like machines like that, not just leaf blowers, but small equipment like that, lawnmowers, because the emissions that they're emitting, because car companies have had to, like, they keep getting laws and all that where they have to do better and create less emissions, but for some reason it hasn't happened with these little fucking leaf blowers. What is my favorite line from any movie? And I'm gonna say it wasn't easy, but Christ Almighty, it's like I'm sitting here playing cards with my brother's kids or something. You nerve-wracking sons of bitches. Guess that movie. It was Tombstone. Billy Bob Thornton. Towards the beginning of the movie, when Wyatt Earp walks in and to the Oriental Saloon and decides that he's gonna take over the place, and the bully that was sitting there was Billy Bob Thornton. Before Billy Bob Thornton was Billy Bob Thornton, earlier on in his career. But yeah, one of the greatest lines, and I always changed it to, it's like playing cards with my sister's kids, and this is no way reflects on my sister's kids or anything. They're all actually way smarter than I am. But I don't have a brother, so I just turned it into my sister's kids. But yeah, that was one of my favorite lines from a movie. And Tombstone's got several. I got Two Guns, one for the Ichiya. Good movie, you should watch it. If you are into westerns, it's a must-see. The next one, I'm going to have to take a sip of this beer before because I don't know. I don't know. What is one thing I'll never do again? There's lots of things I would never do again, but like the one thing, if you had to choose one thing that you would never do again, it's kind of a tough question. For me, it'd probably be drive a tractor trailer through Wyoming. If I had to pick an answer right now. Like I said, I wrote these questions down and I didn't sit there and think about my answers specifically. Shit popped into my head as I was writing them down, but that one drew a blank. What is my favorite dinosaur? Brontosaurus. For some reason, I always like the Brontosaurus. Just thought they were cool. And I know there's some cool dinosaurs, but the Brontosaurus was always probably because they were a little bit more docile, and they weren't ferocious and bullies and that kind of thing. We're not going to get through all these, but I'm going to speed through a couple. What would I time travel to, the past or the future? And this was a very easy one for me, the past, because I wouldn't want to, like, the future just keeps getting stupider and stupider as far as I'm concerned. I mean, daily. And I know what happened in the past, and so I definitely go back, probably to the 80s. For me, yeah. That was an easy question. Another one that was a little bit difficult. What was the worst job I've ever had? I've had some crappy jobs. No crappier than other people had. I worked at fast food, and I worked tons of retail jobs, and I don't know what the worst one would be. I mean, it's a tough call because there's a lot of jobs. I mean, I used to install carpet, but now I didn't really install a carpet. I was just the guy's helper, and so I did all the, I was the gopher and put tack strip down and the padding and stuff like that, but I didn't cut carpet. If you've ever installed carpet or flooring, like, you understand what cut carpet is. There's only a few people that cut carpet. There's millions of people that cut carpet, but like his nephew had worked with him so long that he was the only one that he would let cut carpet. Because if you cut the carpet wrong, you fuck the carpet up, and that's the most expensive thing. You fuck the tack strip up, it's one piece of tack strip. The padding, but the carpet is the important thing. But yeah, one of the worst jobs or the worst job I've ever had, probably working at a landfill, just walking around and with a poker and picking up paper that blew off the hill and bagging it. That was just so boring and so monotonous, and I only did it for like 2 weeks. But yeah, it was a suckhole job. So I'm going to go with that one. And tomorrow I'll probably go, oh, what about that job? But anyways, okay, so yeah, I don't want to get into any more questions, so I'm just kind of chew the fat a little bit here for right now until I feel like it's the appropriate time, until I get settled in. Jacked up the microphone when I was trying to sit down. I got it too tight in here, and it's just ridiculous. I'm hoping that everything's set up the way it needs to be set up. Seems like every time I do this, something fucking goes awry. But yeah, I got through the majority of the questions. I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I had like 6 more questions. But oh shit, that's loud. Hello.
Hello, kid.
Hey, it's DanLee. DanLee's called in to the podcast.
Absolutely. How are you doing?
Not too bad. How's everything going?
Oh, it's very interesting outside. It's dark out now, which is a good thing because just as it's getting dark, these little bugs down here in Florida called the no-see-ums, they want to eat you up. Yes, indeed.
Oh yeah, we got them here too.
Got to go run and hide. So,
They're the bugs are
oh,
just awful.
oh my gosh.
And that's a
It,
product of it just being too warm all year round.
yeah, it's intense. Oh my God. But as soon as it gets dark, they go to bed. They go somewhere, but they're not after your blood anymore or whatever the hell it is they're looking for. I don't even know.
Yeah.
It's not like they're big. I don't even think they even get any blood. I don't know what the hell they bite you for, just for the sake of, well, I got that guy.
Yeah, they're just annoying, just there to be annoying.
I guess, and
Uh
they're good at it.
shit, the last time we recorded was June 24th, 1978.
Oh yeah, just back, just a short time ago.
No, it was literally the last time we recorded was episode 116. It was June 24th we recorded the episode.
Oh, okay.
I forget when I posted. That was right after Marnie had decided that she needed to step away. And
Uh-huh.
you and I recorded that week. And
Yeah.
I didn't post it for probably a month. And then
Uh-huh.
we took some time off. And we were just getting ready to get ramped back up. And then DanLee gets a wild hair up his ass and takes off for Florida. No,
Yeah.
I'm only kidding, but
That's me.
but you were talking about the time the getting dark. That's the one good thing about this time of year is that it gets dark earlier after you change the clocks
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
it gets less buggy once
Oh yeah.
once the sun goes down.
Boy, and
But
and
it
less buggy is a great way to put it. It's less buggy.
it's literally like a little after 7 o'clock. But does it not feel like it's like 10, 10:30, 11 o'clock
Yeah,
to me?
it absolutely does.
And it
That
used to just like for like a couple of days, just when it was getting dark earlier, like, man, shit, it's already 7 o'clock. And it's like, no, it's only 5.
yeah,
But now it's dragging on to almost a week where I'm like, waking
yeah.
up at like 4 in the morning. Like, what the fuck's going on here? Fell asleep last night at like 7 o'clock. Kyle had to wake me up to she was like, do you still want me to make a plate of dinner? And I'm like, yeah.
Yeah. It's funny you should say that because that's what I did this morning. I was up at 4 something. I don't
Yeah.
remember exactly what. All I know is I looked and it was 4 something, and I was like, I don't even want to remember this. And I came out and turned on YouTube and just didn't have any sound on. I was just looking at stuff. So that's all I can say. It was just stuff. I don't even know what I was looking at.
Yeah.
But it's funny when you say when the sun goes down. Um, Last night we went down to, when we leave out of here where we're staying in Yankeetown, Florida. There's just a little road out here, takes us right down to the Gulf of Mexico, and there's a boat launch there. And we went down and watched the sun disappear into the Gulf of Mexico. It was just, it's a sight, and I know you've seen it plenty of times, but it's just,
From Texas, yeah.
yeah, yeah, exactly.
Not necessarily from Florida. I have seen it from Florida though.
Right. sure. But it's just cool. It's something that everybody should get to see once in a while. You know,
Oh
because
yeah.
it's just a fun thing to do.
Well, that's what I want to ask. When did you actually go down to Florida? Was it the end of August, or it was sometime
No,
in August or the beginning of September?
it was in August. Um, third week. Yeah, yeah. You got a
So,
better guess on it than I do.
so the end of
Def-
August.
yeah, yep, definitely. And it was an eye opener because I pursued a a, a job like I'm a groundskeeper.
Yeah, that's the next thing I got written down here. DanLee took another job at a campground.
Yeah, yeah.
He's
I
a
figured.
he's a campground journeyman. No.
Yeah, really. So it's like being in bands, right? And you step from one band to another, and it's like, well, this landscape pretty much looks the same. You know,
All right.
there's there's the same problems I saw at the other place right there.
But at
Uh,
least now down there you're just you're a groundskeeper. You're mowing lawns and doing
mhm.
that. Like whereas when you were up here, you were doing some of the shit you were doing was just
Oh, it was
you
it was
shouldn't be
like
doing this shit.
it was like real bull work. I mean, you get done at the end of the day, and you're lucky if you didn't get hurt. I mean,
Right. Well,
that's
yeah,
just
and
the way.
that's what I worried about all the time.
Yeah, that's just the way it went. But it's here. It's cool because I started in on the job, and I got people at this point that have been there for a while, and they go, "Do you ever stop?" And I'm like, "No." And the reason is like, it's not like I'm running from one thing to another, but I'm just staying busy, and that works for me.
Yeah.
I'm not like killing myself or anything, but I'm just staying busy, you know.
Well, I will
So,
say one thing. Dana Lee goes through more phones than most teenagers.
oh well,
He, my mom says, "Oh, did he tell you that he ran over his phone with a lawnmower and it like blew up and caught on fire?" And I'm like, "No." Uh, of course, I talked to you. I guess the other day or last night. Was it last night or the other day? And
um,
you told me about it. Did it actually catch on fire?
yeah, I was,
He ran.
I was,
It came out of his pocket, and he fucking
yeah,
ran over it with a lawnmower. The
came
thing caught on fire.
because the hell of it is, I'm on a zero turn mower, so I'm sitting on it, and um, with a zero turn, you can get in real tight to things, and you can back up and swing out, and it's just like a dance with the crazy things. You just got to be careful and not get too close. But
What,
so
is that
I'm
like the Tootsie Pop owl? How many licks does it get to the center? How many turns does it take to run over my phone?
well, I had no sense that the phone was making it out of my pocket because those zero turns, they vibrate a lot. The suspension on them sucks, and the motors are pretty big, and it's like right behind you, so there's a lot of rattle going on especially on a rough patch of ground. And so I'm just going down, did a flip, coming back, and I'm looking at a column of smoke, literally a column of smoke. It looked like the size of a big can of like tomatoes that you would buy in the store. That's one of those big cans of tomatoes. It was that kind of a round column of smoke going up. And I'm like, what in the hell is in the ground that I ran over that I didn't know about that's doing that? And then of course reality struck, and I looked at my pocket and I'm like, oh, well, phone's gone. It's the end of the phone.
Yeah.
And I swung, I just came down, pulled up next to it, looked over, and sat there and watched it burn for a few minutes. And I'm like, Damn. Okay. How much was that phone again?
I don't. If you get a
Uh,
phone, it's lucky if it makes a
oh,
month.
I
Well, you finally got an iPhone, and then you lost that.
well, that was within 2 weeks. That was the what? How did that crazy chain of events go
That
there?
was when you went down to Florida and
Yeah.
to the COVID bus and came back, and then the transmission went out of your car, and somewhere
Right.
between all that happening, the phone just disappeared. But I don't even think you realized it until you got back home.
No, didn't. I mean, there was just so much going on. It's like you're wore out. You had some fun. You're all wore out, and you're driving home.
Well, you guys were coming down with COVID too at that time,
Yeah.
so
Yeah, we were catching COVID and
I mean, what
didn't know
you were
have it.
just outside of Jacksonville, I think, and the transmission went out, and you guys are
Yeah,
sick, and you got to get a hotel room, and your car's broke down, and like your phone was probably the last thing on your mind.
yeah, and I only had it a short amount of time. I don't even know how long I owned it, but I didn't I hadn't even learned it yet. I mean, because I've been on Android phones for forever. First iPhone. So I mean, I stepped into it slowly. I got like the cheapest one. It was still like almost $500.
27,000 probably.
And then so that's gone in an instant. Don't know it. Didn't even know where to begin to think to look for it. It's somewhere in Jacksonville, floating around. Who knows?
Yeah, or somebody's just got it in their pocket and they just replaced the SIM card and they got an iPhone out of it.
iPhone out of it. Yeah,
See, people don't do the right thing in general. Like I
yeah.
remember a few years back when I was working for that uniform rental place,
Oh yeah.
and I was at a
Uh-huh.
car dealership, and I was bringing out these big bins on rollers with their
Uh-huh.
uniforms and all that crap, and I was throwing it into the truck. And there was
Yeah.
an iPod in the bottom of it, and my iPod had just quit working.
No kidding.
And I'm like, score! I just landed an iPod,
Right.
but I was like, nope. I'm going to take it in and give it to somebody that looks fairly important,
Uh-huh.
but probably most likely somebody else landed an iPod that day and not me. the
Yeah.
the rightful owner probably never got it back.
That could very well have happened.
I would say the chances are uh, cloudy with meatballs that
Yeah.
the right person got their
Yeah.
iPod back.
Yeah.
But
Somebody looked
I'm
at them.
too honest. I can't it's like no, it's not mine. I'm not going to take it.
Right. And very easy for somebody to go, you know what? I don't have this technology, but I guess I do now.
Yeah, or it's like, yeah, my daughter, this is her birthday. It's coming up this weekend. I can just, pretend that
Really?
it's brand new. I'll just wipe it clean, and
Yeah. Then you're
she'll
the
think
hero.
it's, yeah.
So so my latest is gone, and I'm open for lots of suggestions. I really am.
Jitterbug
Jitterbug.
hangs around your neck. There's 4 buttons. Wife,
Okay.
911.
You know what? There's a phone you can wear on your wrist. Am I right?
Well, you got to have a phone, and then you have to buy the $12,000 watch that goes with the
Yeah.
phone.
Okay, well, I got to work on that then. That's a few months down the road,
I don't
or
even have one of those.
or maybe a few years. But at least now I have a goal. I can focus on what I need to do.
But
I got to get
they
that.
don't work as a phone without the actual phone. You got to have the phone.
See, I didn't get that information. I just thought, okay, the Dick Tracy phone has landed on
No,
Earth.
no, you got to, and then you got to look at this little tiny screen and see what the hell it says. So,
That now is that's the rub right there because yeah, I'm gonna have to get a new eye prescription and get some good glasses.
yeah.
with with that little square down at the bottom for the old folks.
Right.
So to magnify it up.
I'm just gonna get a monocle next time I go and just keep one eye closed all the time.
How cool is that? Yeah.
Get a top hat and a cane.
And then when somebody says something really surprising, you just open your eye real big and the monocle falls down and bumps against the side of your leg.
Yeah, I'll just my new name will be Mr. Monopoly.
Yeah. Yeah, that's very cool. Oh, look, his eyeglass fell out again.
Yeah, but it's
Something's
on a
either.
string.
Yeah. Thank God it's on the string.
I got it tethered to my nose ring.
That's what I need, a phone tether.
Yeah, you need something.
Yeah. Yeah. Or I need a necklace that's made out of real chain. I mean like real chain. And then hook it to that.
Yeah. Well, I wanted to ask you about, and we won't get too deep into it, but you've been down there since what? End of August, and Hurricane Idalia decided
Yeah.
to speed through, and I know that was pretty crazy for you guys down there.
Well, yeah, they hadn't named it. They hadn't quite named it, but I'm watching it and we're all talking about it. And when I saw it was named Idalia, I was like, oh crap. That's the one with a weird name that's gonna go where I am. And sure enough, they had it destined for Cedar Key, which by car, ironically, is like 40 miles away, but by boat, 7.
Yeah,
Se-
really? That wow.
7. It's 7 miles by boat across the Gulf.
And by
Uh,
hurricane, it's like a mile.
oh, and by hurricane, it's just a matter of whatever. It's coming your way. So Cedar Key was ground zero for the longest time, and then it just bumped north of that a little bit. And we're obviously this is from where 3.5 miles down the road is the Gulf. So you're not going to scrub a lot of speed off of the hurricane coming 3.5 miles. It's going to be roaring in here.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, I was
And
keeping a close eye on this one because
oh yeah,
it said it was headed right for you guys. The fortunate thing for you guys, and I know it was bad enough, but they thought it was going to hit at high tide, which would have been so
yeah,
much worse than it was.
right. It was a
Uh,
special tide. I forget what they were saying,
but
but
fortunately, it did not hit at high tide.
so yeah, where I'm working at the campground, the the building, what they use as the office and the entertainment stuff in the back. That's like one of the oldest buildings here in Yankeetown. This is the centennial year for Yankeetown. It's 100 years old this year,
Yeah,
and that building was put up prior to that, I guess.
4 years ago.
Yeah, yeah,
It was put up
but
prior to the centennial.
yeah. Prior to the when it became officially a town called Yankeetown.
Okay, so it was a settlement.
Yeah, and
So there was
so
people had put up structures, and then officially it became a town.
yeah, so there's like a little mark on the door somebody put on there on the front door into the office. It's about 3 inches above where the doorknob is, and that's how high the water was coming through. So it and ironically, the building that I have, like all the equipment that I use on the grounds, is there's just a slight. It looks like a slight rise from the office door where it was at its highest point, to that building. That it's not more than like 135 feet away, something like that. was dry inside.
Yeah.
There's enough rise. It was dry inside, and it's a funny thing. I know it's kind of a boring, crazy thing to talk about, but when you talk about Florida or you talk about places, it's like, oh, it's flat as a pancake there. And I was standing up there one day and I was looking down at the office and I was like, it's amazing. This where I'm standing stayed dry, and everything around me in the campground just got plowed with water.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and it's raising hell. It's raising hell with all electrical stuff. The salt water does. So,
Yeah. Salt water raises hell with everything.
yeah, and it may not even show up for months, but believe me, it's in there working away. It's gonna shut your electricity down at some point.
Well, it's the kind of shit that turns the copper wire green. You know what I mean? The wire,
Yeah.
which is corrosion, and then eventually the corrosion starts breaking the wires, and then the wires come loose. And
Oh yeah. So
but fortunately, Carrie the Bully's house was just high enough where that didn't get any water damage.
no, no. Now they were talking that the storm was going to be Category 4, and they were talking a real big wind event along with being a water event, and that fell off. So
Right. Well, that's what I was saying, because it didn't hit at high tide like they thought it was going to. Because like I was sitting just here watching, like, the Weather Channel, for hours coming,
uh,
the days before, just like, and they're like, right where you guys were at, they're like, there could be, historic storm surge, 15 to 20 feet storm. I'm like, that's gonna freaking just wipe everybody out.
oh yeah, yeah. So it was the day before. The day before, we were told to evacuate. So we were looking at the state of Florida, and we knew that it's a west side event. So we just got the car and drove 75 miles to the east to Mount Dora, Florida. It's a neat town, very neat town, and we go to different events over there. They'll art events and just all kinds of neat stuff. Fun place to go to, spend a day, kill a day over there walking around.
Yeah.
So we went and spent 2 nights there,
But none of
and
that shit was open, so you were just stuck in a
yeah,
hotel room for 2 days.
we were in a bed and breakfast, and so it was cool though. We were there was a lot of wind. It was really roaring through there, but nothing like what was happening here. But this was a real water event, and the lower parts of Yankeetown, a number of people lost their homes in that deal. Just not inhabitable anymore.
Yeah.
That's how bad it was for them.
Well, that's the price of living in heaven.
Heaven.
No, I was kidding. But
Oh
um,
gosh,
well,
I don't know. There's
you've had a bunch of events since you've been down there. You were walking Piper one night, and one of
yeah,
the neighborhood dogs happened to get out of its fence and
yeah.
decided that Piper was a giant marshmallow.
Oh really? I mean, this that dog was thinking that little white fur ball's got to go, and I'm gonna do it. But so I did. We walked past it. It was at the fence, going nuts, barking at her, and I never heard it coming up behind us. The lady was coming out of the garage or something and hit the unlock button on the gate. Okay, so the dog had figured out how to swing the gate open there along that fence line and didn't know it.
Yeah.
And the dog was in about 2 strides away from getting Piper. And I turned around and I saw that. And I saw Piper's entire head disappear in its mouth. And I'm like, what? Reached down, grabbed her, lifted her up, lifting the other dog too, and I'm pulling her out of the mouth. Now, what I could have done was gone around real quick and start hurting that dog bad.
Well, that's what I would have done
But
first.
the thing is, when I saw her head disappear, I'm like, what's happening in her throat right now? Is there so much compression on her throat? It's getting crushed. So that's why I made the move I did. I gotta get her head out of that mouth, and I did. But I'm dragging her through clenched teeth, and
Right. Well, that's the problem. If you pull, the aggressive dog will bite down harder.
she let out some screams, but I got her.
So,
She did, and so right away, of course, I'm carrying her. I got the dog's right behind me, and I'm walking with her and looking at her as I'm walking. And I knew that, okay, I see some blood coming out at the base of her right eye. I got blood on my hand from a scrape on the bottom of her neck, and the inside of her mouth is bloody. So I'm like, okay, I get back here, and your mom starts making phone calls, and everybody. It was 4:30, quarter to five, so all the vets are getting ready to close. But luckily, down the road about 11 miles is Crystal River, and they have an all-night animal hospital. So we took off for there.
well, see, that's what I don't understand because Yankeetown is so small. There's not like a town doctor that makes house visits and shit there.
It's like an old it's like an old western town
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like he would just
without
come
any
to the house and like I don't normally work on dogs, but this is better than a
business.
gunshot wound. I think I
Yeah,
can handle this. Well, thank you,
yeah.
Doc. He's like 87 years old and carries the bag, and
Hey Doc, how you doing?
you know what I'm talking about.
Sure. So so here I am. I'm on the run, taking her to the animal hospital, and I got some directions, and I'm getting lost, and I'm like getting furious, and so eventually it all got straightened out. I got her there, and they did a really good job, and she's healing very well. So, but
So
it's
her
funny.
eye isn't fucked up or anything.
No, it's healing well. There's no lingering infection or anything.
No, but I mean
And
she sees out of it and everything.
yeah, because that's the first thing I kept checking, like 2-3 days afterwards.
See,
I'm
like you guys, because when you first told me about this,
hmm
the people that own this dog are like millionaires.
Oh yeah, very much so.
See, I would be a millionaire now.
Just get yourself a
Like I don't
good.
want all your money. I just want half of it.
Yeah, I just want at
Just
least.
treat it like a fucking divorce. I get half of everything you own.
Yes, you
That
hurt my dog.
means I'm moving into the east wing of your house.
Yeah, that's right. And it's far enough down the hall. You don't even bother coming down here to this end. I'll be
And
fine.
and I've got a shotgun if your dog comes near my dog. See, the
So
dog wouldn't even be an issue because I would have killed the dog if that dog had my dog's head in its mouth. I'd have
yeah,
beat it until it didn't breathe anymore, which I would feel awful about for the rest of my life. But I
yeah.
was saving my own dog, so
Yeah, that's why my brain went there like immediately. I'm like, as I'm grabbing her, that's where my brain was. I had gone straight to, am I gonna, what am I gonna do to this dog to get her to let go, get him to let go? And I thought, no, I'm just, I'm gonna get my dog away from your mouth. And I did, and I thought, okay, I might have just added to the pain and the suffering, but um, got her out, and a good result. But it was chancy. It was real chancy when I made that move. So, but I
yeah.
did. really, that's what I was thinking. I was thinking, man, if she's getting her, I don't know, what would you call it, a trachea on a dog? I have no idea what the right word would be.
I don't know. I don't know how you even react because the first thing I would have done is started punching the other dog in the face. That'd
So
been the first thing I would have. I would have hit that dog 10 times in the face, and if it didn't let go, I would have stuck my foot up its ass.
well, the problem for that dog, I knew what I was wearing. I had my steel-toed boots on, and I know if I kick this thing in the ribs, I'm going to hear the ribs breaking. But but my first goal was just immediately when I saw her get bit, I was on it and dragging her out, and I was like, I got to get her out of that animal's throat because all I could think of was her throat getting crushed, and she wouldn't be able to breathe.
Right.
So, and then as it turns out, um, you know, I delivered the bill to him. The guy paid, apologized, come by here. I was out front one day and he came by and he was walking both dogs. And I just was talking to him for a few minutes and that dog came over right up to me. I'm looking down and licked my hand and I pet it on the head. And that's the only encounter I've had with a dog other than the first one.
See,
So,
but you know, like it's that's just the way dogs are, I guess. But see, to get him back, it's he's walking his dogs, and now, oh shit, the gate's open. My silverback gorilla just got loose.
my silverback. Yeah.
You know,
Magilla.
what comes around goes around, motherfucker.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
Or
needless
that.
to say, uh, Florida's been a an adventure for you guys. I feel like you guys need to be down there right now. I feel like Mom is engaging and having more fun down there. So like I feel
Yeah.
like it's not a a bad thing. There's you still got a lot to figure out, of course, but because you
Sure.
still have your
Yeah.
camper up here
Right. Yeah. It's not like
at
it's
your
not like
your second job.
yeah.
That place is going to hell now. I
I,
don't
I
know if it actually is or not, but I'm just saying.
it's like yeah. I mean, I'm not there to do my thing, and I really. It's funny, but I when I was a kid, I used to love to mow the lawn. I used to love to go out there and do that kind of stuff, and but I just it's like when I'm at work, I'm just like really focused. I look at something and I go, I'm going to change that. I don't like the way that looks. And then I'll go over and start working on it. And then what I've done is I've created the next 3 days of work for myself. That's how long it's going to take me to cover this like 65-foot stretch that I'm working on. It's like,
Well, no, I
man,
can see it now. Like, don't touch it. Oh shit!
but the whole time I'm working, there's water. There's water in there, and there's a rule in Florida. If there's water, there's alligators. Okay.
Well, yeah,
So
because most of Florida is technically underwater.
yeah. So when you're working, you got to be looking over your shoulder. You really do. Like when I'm running the weed eater, it's noisy, and you're focused on what you're doing, but you're working for about like 25 seconds is a long stretch, and then you start looking to the right and to the left. Okay. And you actually got to do that one over your shoulder because there might be, a 16-footer there that's you're looking like a snack before lunch.
Well, somebody told me just spray them with a hose. They love it.
Yeah, that's what I heard. They heard. Yeah,
You're the one that told me that.
yeah, that's right. I must have been because yeah, it's like spray 'em with a hose and they'll
That's what
you'll
the pool guy told you. Like, and you
that's right.
told me. So I was just kind of joking about it, but
Yeah. Hey,
just
I'll take
just
his word.
carry a hose around with you that's connected. Like, I don't know
Yeah.
how much
Something.
hose you have. That of course, you'll run it over it with a lawnmower anyways, and
Yeah. Yeah, besides my phone, I'll run that over too. But no, it's just the
I
you
need to
know, there's
I need to look that up though. Like, does it like? I feel like that's not like what saves people from getting attacked by alligators.
right.
Like if I only had a hose.
Yeah, if I only had a hose and the water was turned on.
Exactly.
But how playful does a 16-foot alligator get? I probably not a whole lot.
Depends on how tall you are.
Yeah, yeah, I guess.
Like
So
if you're, NBA basketball player tall, it probably plays for quite a while.
yeah,
If you're like my size, like 5'6", 5'7", just that's just a snack.
yeah, that's over pretty quick. But no, so far, the only alligator story I know about is there's a guy that walks his dog past here, lives down the street, but they're really good about walking this animal. It's a wolf, looks like a wolf all day long. Looks like a wolf. It's big and it's a wolf, but it's a hybrid. Does that sound right?
Yeah, the whole wolf thing is like people are, it's just like the whole monkey thing. It's like I want a monkey, I want a monkey until it eats your face, and
Yeah,
now I don't want
yeah.
a monkey anymore.
This is a big ass dog, and the first time I saw it, I was like, "Shit, look at that!" And so the guy said he was out walking. He and his wife were walking the dog there out front, and I happened to be out there. And I stopped and talked to him for a little bit, and he said that we got talking about alligators. He said, "Yeah, my neighbor's Doberman Pinscher is in a fenced area." And he said, but the dog was barking relentlessly. So he said it was just a few days ago. He said, I went out and looked, and he said the dog was on one side of the fence, and there was about an 8-foot alligator on the other side of the fence,
Oh shit.
just looking at the dog.
Yeah.
And I said, wow. I said, what water is like, I know where your home is, but what water is right there? And he said, there isn't any. He said, it came out of that marshy area, about, I don't know, I wouldn't, maybe like an eighth of a mile away.
Yeah. Well, it was hungry. It was looking for food.
So, and that, I mean, literally, they don't, you would think that they wouldn't stray too far from a water source.
Depends on how hungry they are.
Really. So,
Couldn't find anything in the water, so it's like,
got to go somewhere.
gotta start looking for neighborhood dogs.
Yeah, really. But yeah, so far, no exciting stuff. And I'm just being real careful what I do, though. I don't don't want to. I didn't come here to end up in a hospital waiting room.
Right. Well, hopefully not. Hopefully not.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. But it's the. I'll tell you what, the sunsets are pretty cool. We don't go to a lot of them, but when we do go down there, you're surprised at how many people are down there just watching it.
yeah.
People, lots of picture taken and stuff, and
So you're down there chasing tail at the sunsets. That's what you're doing in Florida right now.
the alligator take.
We
It's
better
that.
wind this down.
So okay.
I
This is too much fun. I'm telling you, the
I
time
know.
goes a
Well,
second.
we can keep doing it. We can keep doing it. We
Definitely.
got to get you set up when you get your permanent fixture down there. We'll
Yeah,
get you
really.
set up so we can do this.
Hmm.
Uh,
Okay.
but and
Definitely.
don't hang up afterwards.
Okay.
I might hang up on you by accident. I don't know.
Okay.
But it was fun having you on.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I enjoyed it very much.
I'm
I'm
doing all this stuff by myself. I'm trying to be very structured.
Sure, I don't blame you.
You know what I mean? Because it's the
Yeah,
only way I can do it. Of course,
yeah.
every other day's I fuck something up. So
Well, that's when you know your mind's racing. You're thinking about too many things.
well, yeah, I'm trying to do too many things that you know
Sure.
all at once. And like I
Yeah.
said, the job just doesn't pay enough, but
Right.
it doesn't pay anything.
Yeah.
But DanLee, it was awesome having you on.
I appreciate it. Appreciate it, man.
And
This is this is good.
it's so weird when I open the episodes now and I'm like, welcome to Moist Nougat. I am the kid, and and I'm DanLee.
I'm
And
DanLee.
like, there's nobody there. And it's like, and then I just have to move on. So,
Right.
but it was definitely fun, and we'll do this again. I mean, the whole point, we were going to do this. We were going to do, like, you were going to be the boots on the ground in Florida and
Uh-huh.
give us all the ins and outs. But, like, I'm just getting back into the flow of things. So
Yeah.
we'll figure it out.
Okay,
But,
so what is this episode 120?
yeah, episode 120.
Okay, good. All right. Excellent.
It'll post on Thursday.
Cool.
So, but thanks again, man.
Oh, thank you.
And
Thank you, kid.
we're gonna call this one an episode. Thanks for listening. I am the kid.
And I'm DanLee.
We'll catch you next time.
Bye-bye.